I remind everybody to switch their mobile phones off, please, or on silent. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family. Welcome to Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, where the power of spirit is ever present and we embrace an independent perspective. It's very good to see familiar and new faces in our congregation, and we also say a big hello to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Facebook. It's a pleasure today to introduce our guest mediums, Miriam and John Fitzgerald, joining us live from Killiney, South County, Dublin, who will introduce themselves and open our service in prayer following my opening reading, which is taken from the Living Word of St. John by the spirit guide White Eagle, who was the guide of the respected medium Grace Cook. And White Eagle says, "The silent forms of the invisible brethren radiate light. They give with such infinite tenderness. They speak deep in your heart and tell you that as you are true and faithful in little things, in simple daily tests, so you rise step by step into the heaven world. Would that we could describe the halls of light and wisdom that await you, my brother and sister, where you may enter and receive the supreme blessing of eternal happiness. Let us stand together before the throne to pray that we may not fail in our work, to help our brother and sister to see, to know, and to become one of the vast company of the blessed in heaven. Dear God, help us in this. Amen." And I will now ask Miriam and John to do their opening introduction. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everybody joining us online. It really is a pleasure for Miriam and myself to be with you in Wimbledon Spiritualist Church here this morning with all of you. So just a brief bit about us. We've been involved in spiritualism about 15 years and we're part of the ministry of the Spiritualist National Union. And in Ireland, we undertake a lot of wedding ceremonies and celebrations of life. And we continue to develop within the spiritualist ethos and certainly within the mediumship faculties. So it really is a pleasure to be with you all today.
Thank you. If you could all join me in our opening prayer, please, as we enter into the silence. Father God, Great Spirit, Creator of all things, as we come into your presence here this morning, let us open our hearts and our minds and leave our troubles and our doubts where they need be. In this space, let us feel your love, your support, and your encouragement. And as we extend our thoughts and prayers to our loved ones in the spirit world, we invite them to draw close to us. In this communion, we feel their love. We feel not only their love, but the love of each other and the love of God. And in that essence, we know we are not alone. We are grateful to be in your presence. Amen.
Thank you, Miriam. Now, please join me to still our minds and open our hearts as we pray for all those people, children, and animals in need of spiritual healing, love, and light across the planet, in places of war and conflict, nations affected by natural disasters, everyone involved in rescue operations and foreign aid. Our National Health Service, the selfless doctors and nurses who work tirelessly for our well-being. We pray for peace in our time and the abolition of atrocities and violence. And we thank the power of the Holy Spirit for giving us strength and hope in times of doubt and despair. We include at this time the following names from our church healing list: Daphne and Ivor, Leslie Morton, Jackie and Ray, Anne Hopkins, Martin Griffiths, Jenny and Carol Burgess, Ray Parrett, Lee Oswald, James Lean, Jeff Williams, Stephen Kelly, Mary Dixie, Fabrice, Emily Rose, Alex, Rose May, Jean-Claude, Fiona, Ruben, Valerie, John and Jean Clark, Ruby, Pam, and Sarah Payne. We now move our attention into the healing silence, to be followed by the serenity prayer, which we will say together. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I will now invite Miriam to give us a reading, followed by her address. Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you, Phil. I'm going to read something titled Spinners of Gold, and it's from Echoes, Teachings of the Past, Wisdom of the Present by Deborah Skelton. And Spinners of Gold is from an extract from the spiritualist Will Ford. Think of spirit in your meditation and work on the idea that it is the beginning stuff to the universe. If that is the case, then think of your relationship with all other things, people, places, animals, ideas, everything. They are all connected. You are a part of each other. Take as many years as you like to meditate on that. You will grow in your understanding of it. As you do so, put your understanding into action. This is not a plea to be trendy and environmental. It is a plea to be meaningful, lovingly, and respectfully part of the environment. Live out your understanding in practical terms. Remember that you are free and spontaneous. You are not a set of mathematical calculations. You are never entirely predictable. This will give you a sense of freedom, which is, in fact, the breath of life. You are not a robot. If anything, you are more like a passenger in the car. You are in charge of where you want to go. As you grow older, the car may not serve you quite as well, but it can never dictate to you entirely. You can always get out and walk when things get difficult. Value spontaneity and know that you can never repeat anything exactly. Each time it is a little different. For that reason, if you allow it to be, it is always interesting. For spirit to grow, it has to have free expression and needs an interested audience. Be spontaneous. Be interested. That way you have provided a good environment for growth. Learn the value of harmony. It is like sunshine to plants. Without it, there is no growth. Harmony is the result of love. It is a loving approach, a loving interpretation, a loving coming together. Practice harmony in music, in color, form, dance, in ideas, in friendship, in nature, and in silence. Dare to enjoy change and the unexpected. Remind yourself that change is life. That way you will train yourself out of the belief that growing old is growing dead each day. What nonsense. All change is growth. and all change is experience. You are becoming more you all of the time. You are a spinner of straw into gold. Work on that idea right now. You are in the right place, which is best for you. Whatever the joys or difficulties of now, they are gift-bearing moments. Ask yourself, what is it that they bring you? And learn from that. Every beauty is there for you to enjoy. Every problem is a challenge for you to meet beautifully. There is no moment which has no gift for you, no straw that will not become gold for you to spin. That's a beautiful reading, and I'm very fond of Wilford because he was actually a gardener, and his understanding of harmony, as he discusses in that beautiful reading, the different forms of life working together, often disparate, and yet together they create this beauty that we live in. And yet we try to define beauty as something particular, and quite often that can be discussed as glamour, how somebody looks on the outside, when all of these things fade as we grow older. But inner beauty stays with us, and it radiates from us to the world around us. And in that essence, when he talks about harmony, it is that ability for us to recognize that beauty in another individual, which is not always easy to do, particularly when they can irritate us or aggravate us. And the world is full of that at the moment. It's very difficult to find beauty in those who provoke and irritate us. And yet it is there. So it is incumbent upon us as spiritualists, as human beings on the pathway to God, whatever God that may be for you or for any of us. It is to recognize that God loves all things. And it is us as human beings who have difficulty with that, not God, not the divine, but us. We have difficulty in seeing the beauty beyond the exterior. But we must acknowledge that that's part of being human, and that is part of the wisdom, as Wilford discusses, in spinning straw to gold. Because it's in those disparate moments where we feel less loved, or even perhaps where we feel angry and disillusioned with the world and the individuals in it and around us. It requires us to look for something deeper, to look within, and to recognize in that stillness of life, because we can make ourselves busy. We can make ourselves busy so that we don't have to attend to what is actually happening in the interior world. And the wisdom of the world is always in the interior. That is the path to the mystic, where we can see the world around us, but we have to understand how it relates to us and the beauty of our life and what we have to offer, because we all have something to offer. And sometimes we can spend our lives giving away our autonomy, allowing others to dictate what we think, what we feel, or what we should feel, how we should act, how we should behave, how we should love, how we should look. But that's our choice. It is not their choice. It is not society's choice. We have a right to be who we are. That is the wisdom of growing old, not necessarily growing aged per se, as he talks in the reading, this idea that we are growing dead. We are not. We are unfolding. And perhaps the journey of life is to discard, all of those opinions that we took on, or all of those pieces of advice that people gave to us that we carry with us that don't actually serve us in the end, so that we can become who we truly are in a space like this, where we can commune with God and each other, and we can recognize the beauty of ourselves and each other, despite the fact that that beauty looks and feels different to another's. And in that there is harmony. That there is beauty. Because it's only quite often when we are confronted with ideas, thoughts, reflections that are different from our own, that we return to that center to question. And we understand where those biases, for want of a better word, come from. And quite often, they are not really ours, but they have been dictated to us by a society, by a family, by a belief system, by an education system. And if we take the time to sit in that silence, to get to know who we truly are, which is the beauty of growing older, that we can discard those opinions and recognize that, no, I'm enough. That I am beautiful in the sense of how God has created me, not how the world sees me, not how people look at me, but in the sense that I have something unique to offer. Because each and every one of us here today has something unique to offer. And it's that very uniqueness equates to quite often something that is universal. And in that universal acceptance, that is harmony. That is where God lives in all things, through all things, with all things. And it doesn't require an external validation, but rather an internal acceptance that we belong, that we are enough. And that, whilst our external appearance will change as we grow older, if we listen to that inner knowing, that inner voice, that beauty, that will continue to grow long after the event known as death, where that beauty will continue to return to God, to return to its true home. And the beauty of spiritualism is it calls upon us to recognize that now, to recognize that we have a duty to change the opinions of the world by looking at ourselves and by living our best lives according to our standards in honest opinion of our connection to God. And I don't know about you, but that potential truly excites me. What a different world it would be if we could just be ourselves and recognize that we are already enough in a world that constantly tells us we aren't. We are loved, we are worthy, we belong, and we exist in harmony when we recognize that. So perhaps today at some point, or maybe as you move through this week, that you may take some time to sit and to meditate and to recognize what opinions have you carried that are not your own? What judgments have you made against yourself and others that are not your own? And perhaps discard them and live your life, a life of beauty. And in doing so, you will never really understand how you liberate another person to do that. Because I don't know about you, but if someone tells me to do something, I will quite often do the opposite, and John will certainly attest to that. Nobody likes to be told what to do. But what will affect me is the actions of the people that I admire or that challenge me. When I look at those people and how they live their lives and how they are unquestionably themselves, perhaps that might give us an understanding to do the same for us. So consider that for yourself this week, this month. Be you. Use what life has given you, because life is never fair for anybody. We think it is. It is not. But just because it's not fair does not mean there isn't moments of great beauty in it. So take those moments of beauty, live your life as you, because that's what God has intended you to be, you, not somebody's idea of you. And I guarantee you will affect great change. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miriam, for a very inspiring address, and that's given us all plenty of food for thought. So now can I ask Terry, please, to take the offertory in church, and anyone wishing to make a free will donation may do so on the following link, which is also listed on our Wimbledon Spiritualist Church Facebook pages: www.paypal.com/paypalme/LADPROMS. That's www.paypal.com/paypalme/LADPROMS. Thank you, Terry. Miriam and John will now demonstrate their mediumship, and I would ask, please, that if Spirit Communicator is drawn to you with a message, church members, please respond with a clear yes or no to the statement, or if in doubt, just say, "I'm not sure," and they can then ask Spirit for further clarification. It is important for Miriam and John to hear your voice, as that is the conduit of energy which Spirit need to make a strong connection. So please, can I ask church message recipients to speak clearly into the handheld microphone and hold it just a few inches from your mouth to speak. Thank you very much, and I'll hand over to Miriam and John again. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. So while I was listening to Miriam's address, I was very drawn to the lady and gentleman in the centre aisle. There's a lady there with a kind of a greenish top there. If I could speak to that lady, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Hello. I do believe that I'm very drawn to you, because as I was just looking around at the congregation there this morning, I was very aware of a mother that came forward and very much drew myself to yourself. So would you understand your mother being in the spirit world? Yeah, you hear us. And I do feel as well with this lady that I would say she's quite settled, quite comfortable in the spirit world. She's been there a while, quite a number of years now. Would that be correct?
Yes.
And I feel with this lady as well, with your mum, there had to be an element of time that you cared for her, or you were very much around her. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because she just impresses upon me there about the care, the amount of time. When I talk of care, it's like if I'm correct with you, it was like a sense of duty. It was just something that you would just naturally do for mum, because that's the person that you are.
Yes.
If you'd understand that. Okay, and she's bringing my mind to I did grow up, I have to say, in London in my younger days, but she's bringing me to Bermondsey. Does that make any reference to you or any connection to you?
East End. I don't know where Bermondsey is in the East End. I don't know.
Okay, it's just connections there to that. And yeah, you preempted what I was going to say about the East End, because I feel that part of London. And the reason I feel that with her, there has to be some connection to what I would call traders, to people buying and selling goods, going to a market, that type of thing. Does that resonate with you and your mother?
Yes.
Yeah, that's because that's what I feel. It's visits that just the two of you would have had, to like little shopping trips. If I'm correct, your mum, and I love with her that she has this sense of humor. This applies to yourself. You both loved a bargain. Is that correct?
Yes.
with her as well. And she gives me the number three when I talk of family. So there has to be three, either siblings or three children, either connected to you or to your mum. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And also, just as I say, it was the green attracted to me, but as I'm working with your mum here, I feel there's connections to the Irish community in your area or within your past, your lineage or something. There's some connection to Ireland that's really drawn my attention to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's amazing the power of the spirit, how they work with us to connect us all. Um I was given the name of sounded like Phyllis. Does the name of Phyllis or something sounding similar to that? Phil, and I know obviously Phil Shaw is our chair, but it's Philip, Phyllis, something like that. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and with your mum as well, I know it's I don't want to say typify, the generation before us, but your mum was really loved her food. She really loved yeah, it's just what I'd say. It's what we say in Ireland, meat and two veg. It was plain simple food, but it was tasty and it was nourishing and it was enough. Does that make sense?
Yes.
To her there as well. A very generous lady, very chatty, I have to say your mum was. Knew a lot of people, loved that, what we would say in Ireland, conversation, loved to chat to people. And she certainly wasn't too shy, we would say, about coming forward. She was a very open lady. Does that make sense to you? If it's not, say no.
Yes.
Yes, she was. Sorry, I didn't quite catch it. It's just the signal on the computer. Thank you. Yeah, and with your mum as well, I feel in her time, she wasn't a very tall lady, but she would be like myself. She would what we say well-rounded. She yeah, but she lost a lot of weight before she passed. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
That's what I feel. Okay, and she's always, again, she's one of these ladies that always seem to have a sweet in her pocket for the children. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
She always had those sweets, and they were like they were really sticky things. They were like toffees and humbugs and things like that. Those type of sweets with her. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I could keep working with your mom. She's just such a wonderful lady, just such a character. And there's just such a feeling of joy as she comes, and she just brings that feeling of joy, with her. Such a joyful, happy, upbeat person to be around. And she just wants to come in, because she knows she can. And just to bring that joy. It's the feeling of just wanting to give you a bit of a lift at the moment. Would that make sense? And she wants to thank you for remembering her, for talking about her, for keeping her, what we would say, alive still by the stories of her there as well. And just wants to thank you for everything that you did for her. And she's only that thought away. And know that she's as close to you now as she ever was. So please take her love as she comes forward this morning. And thank you for working with me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, very good. Okay, just see where I'm going next now. I feel very much I have a gentleman stepping forward. I do feel this is Dad as he comes in. I feel I'm more in the front row here at the moment with that. Just go to the lady in the blue jacket, just the gentleman with the microphone. Yeah, there's a lady just in front of you in the blue jacket. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning. Would you understand your father being in the spirit world? Would that be correct?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And I wouldn't feel this gentleman is gone more than 10 years. Would that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel with him. And again, unlike the previous communicator, your father was a more, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a more serious type.
Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
But I'm getting a very proud man, very tall, very upright. It was very important, that your posture was correct. You stood straight and firm. Would that be correct with him?
Yes, it would.
Okay, and I feel a very well turned out gentleman. Had to be very, what I would say, glamorous, a very handsome man in his day. The photographs of him there, he always kind of posed for a photograph. You wouldn't see him kind of leaning or, really smiling too much. He was very much, very well turned out, like suit, that type of thing. Would that be correct?
That was him.
Yeah. And I feel with your dad as well, an incredibly intellectual man, a very intelligent man, but a self-taught, self-learned man. So I wouldn't feel necessarily, as I'm working with your dad here, that he was a man that had the opportunity of availing of a lot of education, but he very much had he made his own way in life. Does that make sense to you?
That's him.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I feel. A man that was quite talented, could turn his hand to many different things. And if I'm correct, as I work with him here as well, he was very much what I would call a make do and mend kind of a gentleman. So big into his DIY, fixing things. Does that make sense?
He did a lot of things by himself.
Yeah. And quite, and when you say by himself, that's, very, very much rings true, because I feel he was quite an independent man. He, as in, he had friends, but he liked to kind of do things himself, and he wouldn't, would you understand that type of a character with him?
I can take that, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Again, there would be many conversations with your dad as well, and I get the immense feeling that he comes through this morning, because you've been missing him, and certainly lately. And I want to go to the month of February for either his birthday or his passing. Would that be correct?
Yeah, my birthday.
It's your birthday, yeah, because I know he comes close, because it's the feeling of just kind of missing him around that time. So just when you say about birthdays and that, a gentleman that would be very good with his dates, and it wouldn't be a strong feature of mine, I would say, but he would never forget the birthdays, the anniversaries. Dates were important to him. Does that make sense?
It was.
Yeah, and the always remembering to give a card and a little gift, or when I talk about a gift, I feel like there'd be some money in an envelope, in a birthday card for you as a present. Would that make sense?
He always gave.
Always gave something. Yeah, so generous, but not a man that would shout it, as I say, from the rooftops. He kept his cards very close to his chest. A very private man. Yeah. Again, there has to be, for some reason there, he brings me to his place of rest, and I know this is a place, where you would visit him. I feel it's a grave, but I could be wrong on that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You would understand your father was buried, not cremated, for some reason that he talks about his place that you visit.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, he wants to thank you for that, because at times you go on your own. But at times you bring your son with you. Is that correct?
Not sure about that.
You're not sure about that? Yeah, I didn't quite get that strong enough, but I feel at times there's visits just with yourself, but sometimes with someone else. Another gentleman, I felt a younger man, but I could be wrong on that. That's okay. Okay, so as I work with Dad, there again, it's the feeling of, as I work with him, it's like the connection gets stronger. It's like if he likes you and kind of gets to know you, he would open up a bit more, or whatever. So a gentleman that would have had few friends in his life, but the friends that he had were what he would call solid friends. They were dependable.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, you would understand that. Okay. Again, the reason he comes in, it's like he hasn't. Would you understand that you wouldn't have heard from him too many times or too often?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like he hasn't been in around for a while, and it's the feeling. And if I'm correct, there has been a thought gone out as to whether or not you were going to attend this morning, and if you were, you would love to hear from Dad. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
Yeah, because that's why he comes. He says, "I'm here because you're here," and that's why he's come. And yeah, and again, you know, just it brings so much love for you, and the memories. He knows how much you miss him. But again, as I said, you know, they're only that thought away, there as well. Again, just before, yeah, I feel that he just moves there from my awareness. I just feel that he pops into your dreams every now and again. Does that make sense to you? Or tries to send you a little sign, or just to let you know, and you often say, is that you, Dad? Is that correct?
Yeah, I do get a few signs now.
Yeah. And just to trust that that is him, that he is around you, and it's not just you in your mind, or whatever. Yeah. And I don't quite feel it's his thing, but it's the feeling just as he leaves, he's just sending you some healing, or just, you know, just bringing, you know, that peace around you at this moment in time. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I'll move on anyway, and thank you for yeah, just sharing in his love this morning as he comes with you, and thank you for working with me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so see where I'm going next. I do feel I'm still in the front. I need to go over to, there's a lady just over to your right, with the scarf in the front row or near the front. Yeah, the lady's got her hand up over there. I just feel I'm still in the front here as well. I can just see that lady on the corner of the screen, but just drawn to yourself there. I feel I have a lady coming forward. I feel this is more like an aunt. Would you understand an aunt in the spirit world?
Yes, I've got a few aunts. Yes.
You've got a few of them. Okay. See which one wants to pop in. They could all pop in together, but I just give the information as they give it. Oh, okay. Straight away, the name Carol comes to my mind. Would you understand one of them to be a Carol?
I don't know the name Carol, no.
You don't know the name Carol. That's okay. That's fine. It's just Carol breathes into my mind. Let me just work with that now and see what it is. Just as I work with that, then it's as I, you know, give that Carol back, it's the sense of a choir, a Christmas choir. So it's not changing the information, but the reason I got the carol, it's like the singing of Christmas carols or being part of a choir. Does that make sense to you? If it's no, say no.
Sorry, no.
No, you can't understand that. Okay, I'll just work on with her there as well. The lady that I'm working with seems to be the feeling of she's very tall, very attractive, and there was a cancerous condition in the upper part of the body, in the chest area. Does that make sense? As one of your aunts.
No, that was my mother.
That was your mother. Okay. So let's work with that lady, because this is the lady now that's, as I say, as I'm working, she's coming in the strongest there as well. But I'm very aware of a lot of ladies with her, put it that way. So the feeling is that there's it's like you come from a long lineage of ladies, but there's more what they would call that are passed now, unfortunately, to those that are left behind. Does that make sense?
Was my mother's sisters.
Sorry. Yeah, you can understand. Yeah. Okay, so as I work with this lady as well, I know her appearance is very important to her. I do feel that the hair was longer, but she got like curly shoulder length hair with her. Does that make sense?
When she was young.
when she was young. And there's this feeling of makeup, but it wasn't overly done or heavily made up. But you wouldn't see her without her makeup, as she wasn't known to kind of leave the house or socialize without her makeup. Does that make sense?
Please look the part. Yes.
Yeah, always look very well dressed, very well turned out. And she was again, it as an analogy with the hair, it's like, you know, she'd like to not so much party, but she would let her hair down, as such. Like, so when she went out, she would always have a good time. She was a very sociable, very what would I say, very popular to be out with. If you went out with your mum, you were guaranteed a good evening. Would that make sense?
Really like that.
Sorry,
She wasn't really that.
she wasn't really like that. Okay, I just feel a lady that was very sociable, very
Probably.
yeah, very bubbly, friendly, open, very popular. Like, people wanted to kind of, yeah, would be drawn to your mum to chat to. Does that make sense?
Yes, so yes.
Yeah, yeah, okay. With that again, I just feeling for some reason with mum, and correct me if I'm wrong, she kept the house very well, very clean. I don't want to quite say house proud, but she was her home was always well turned out. It meant so much to her when she got her first home, especially. Does that make sense?
Very house proud.
Yeah, I didn't quite get it that strong, but I know her home, meant a lot to her, and how it was presented. And again, it's the feeling with her that everything had its place, and she very much was a lady that would have kind of designed everything, put things together and planned out the rooms, the color schemes, that type of thing. Does that make sense to you?
Make things, curtains, rugs and things.
Yeah, or she made things. Okay, because I just feel that she was a real integral part. When they say somebody is a homemaker, it's the feeling that she had a real hands-on aspect, to making the home, to organizing and displaying certain things. I do get, if I'm correct, like a china cabinet with ornaments and old bottles and thimbles and little things like that. Does that make sense?
I don't remember. No.
No, no, not so much. I just feel that she was, and correct me if I'm wrong, that she was very sentimental. So, in the gifts that she was given, things that were given like for her birthday, for Christmas, things like that, she kept them for years. They were really important to her because they had meaning and significance. Would that make sense?
Yes, I suppose.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. She's bringing my mind to, and if you would understand, she's bringing me down to South Wales, for a holiday. Would you understand that when you were younger?
Never know. No.
You can't understand the reference to Wales at all.
No.
No. Okay. Because I feeling with her, it's whatever about being in a car, I feel I need to be on a train. And I feel that I'm traveling the countryside on a train with her.
Yeah, we are, so we went every time. Not
You-
where.
Not
Yeah, but
Wales, but
everyone-
you could understand train journeys with mum for like holidays or days out, that type of things.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, it was the feeling, and I know it was something of the time, but she's showing me something like a picnic basket, or bringing sandwiches and things like a flask of tea or whatever. But for a treat, you would always go into like, not a restaurant or a cafe, what we call it, like the modern day coffee shop. You would have tea somewhere nice as a treat. Would that make sense to you?
It's
Yeah, you could understand that as well. And the feeling as well that in your time growing up there, you had a small little dog, because I just feel a dog around me at this moment in time.
You'd have a dog, yes.
Yeah, I just feel small, like a little terrier type of a thing that just comes around my feet here as well. A loyal, a friendly little thing that you would have had for years.
It wasn't especially small, but it was a bit of a breed, yeah, mixed breed.
Yeah, I just feel that, but very friendly, very kind of a loyal little, yeah, like we say, a friend as they are to us. Very dear as well. And the symbology or the symbolism of a tortoise as well comes around me as well. Would you understand that?
I never had a tortoise. I didn't know of a tortoise, no.
Yeah, it's the symbology of a tortoise. It's the feeling of yeah, and I know obviously tortoises move very slowly or whatever. So will you understand the symbology of things slowing down or moving slowly at the moment in time?
For me, yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just feel that within my awareness there, working with your mother as well. Okay, don't seem to be getting too much more, as I say, as I work with that. You got anything from Mum? No. So yeah, I just feel this, you know, your mother then that comes through the stronger, you know, surrounded by her sisters, that just very much I know it's something that's I feel from her, you know, there's very much this difference of being alone and being lonely. And I know how much you miss Mum, and certainly, you know, her sisters, your aunts as well. And it's the feeling of just for yourself, if I'm correct, it would be nice if you had a little bit more company. Does that make sense?
I feel like an orphan.
It's the feeling that you don't get to see as many people as you did anymore. And it's, yeah, it's just you know, within that awareness that you know, we can always chat to them because they will always hear your thoughts, you know, and that will always know nothing that's ever sent to them is ever unheard, but to know that they're there, yeah, and they're surrounding you, as I say, with that love. So please know that they're there for you and they still are around you. Okay.
Lovely, John, thank you.
Okay, and thank you for working with me. Okay, is the gentleman just near the very back on the left with like it's coming through like a kind of a white or a light colored cardigan. Yeah, just there. Yeah, yeah. Hello, sir.
Hello, how do you do?
How you doing? Very good, thank you. Yeah. I'm just drawn to yourself there with the next communicator. Okay, there's a number of people I feel that come close to you, but there is a gentleman. Would you understand? I'll go with the strongest here. I do feel Father is in the spirit world. Is that correct?
Correct.
And if I'm not mistaken, I feel that there's another gentleman with him, but he's younger. It's the feeling. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like a brother. Would that make sense?
Yeah, but his older brother passed.
So his older brother, so your uncle would be with him.
Yeah, like this, definitely is. That's a yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, just sorry. The signal. Yeah, it jumps every now and again. And would you understand that they would have been quite close back in the day?
Yeah, very close. Yeah, that's definite.
Yeah, because they're coming in together. You know, at times, as they say, as we know, they never come alone. But it's like Dad comes in, but he wants to bring his brother with him there as well. So there has to be memories with you and your uncle as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, limited, but I overjoyed to hear them together because he loved his older brother very much. They lost their father when they were young, so that's just nice to hear. Great.
Yeah, and it's the feeling that Dad is coming, like bringing his brother forward, you know, to you. It's like he's pushing him forward to say, look, you know, that's your nephew there as well with him. But if you would know from memories or just from stories or whatever, it's like your uncle was a bit quieter than your dad. Does that make sense?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, because he just needed that kind of little push, to come through.
I definitely
It's the
very much.
feeling of oh, he probably wouldn't even know me or recognize me or understand or whatever. But there's great joy that you've acknowledged him. I can say that. I can certainly feel, that's energy changing around your uncle there as well. So he's thrilled to be coming in to pop in to say hello
That's great.
there as well. Um, and again, if I'm correct here, I could have it the wrong way around. It's the feeling that uncle passed before your father. Does that make sense?
No, it was the other way
No,
around. Within
it
two.
was the other way around. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure on that because I know you said older brother, but it's the feeling that he passed before him. But there has to be an element of time here where the two of them didn't get to see each other uh, before they passed. There's an element of time here where,
Yes.
yeah, if you would understand that, they're just breezing that past my mind. That even though they were close, they didn't get to be physically that close towards the end.
That's right.
Um,
He's
and I
from
feel as sorry, go ahead.
Ireland. His older brother. He lived in Ireland.
Oh, you lived in Ireland. Okay. So that's
Mm.
the Irish connection coming in. Thank you for sharing that with me. Yeah, because I was going to say there's an element of distance, not so much time, but there was a distance between them that they couldn't get to be with each other at the end there as well. So just going back to Dad there as well. So you would understand Dad to be what I would say quite open to you. So a man you could talk to and chat to, but he could be quite strict in his day. Would you understand that?
Yeah, yeah. When I was a boy, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the feeling of you know as I work with him, it's the feeling because he had to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it's tell him it's all right. I understand.
It's a feeling of certainly within all of us. In our younger days, we could be a bit rebellious and we can possibly get in with the wrong people and whatever, and we get up to mischievous things and stuff. And it's like Dad really had to kind of just, yeah, tell you right from wrong back in the day, if you would understand it in that sense.
Yes.
But the feeling is, as I say, there was always that love connection between you. There was always, and I have to call it an unspoken love. It was a thing, obviously, within the previous generation. They didn't voice their feelings too much, but there was always that closeness to them that you could always go to your dad if you had a problem or an issue. And as possibly reluctant as he might have been in his time, he would always sit and listen to you and help you out. Does that make sense?
No, that's not the case. But it's ambiguous,
Yeah.
The previous generation didn't communicate, but I think it was he just didn't know how to show it. I don't think. But my love now is unconditional. So
Yeah, the feeling is, as I say, that yeah, obviously, as I say, times were different. It wasn't so much spoken,
yeah,
but yeah, the feeling from him certainly now is that love is as strong, yeah, as it would have been or could have been or would have been shown to you. So there's this huge recognition from your dad, if you can accept it, of you're my son. And irregardless of our past and what happened in our lives, it's like he's coming forward now to recognize you as your son and the love that he has for you as well,
it's
if
wonderful.
that makes sense.
Yeah, and I feel it every day. Uh,
Yeah,
Not surprised what you're saying, but it's lovely to have it confirmed. So yes, yes, yes.
yeah. And I very much, as I say, feel that from him, and it's just so genuine. It's very very sincere. As I say, I have to say, your dad and yourself. I feel there was like a parting of ways in time. There was an element of time where you didn't really speak or communicate for quite a number of years. Does that make sense?
A lot of years. Yeah.
Yeah, there was, because it's the feeling that a lot of time has passed, and there's I want to say from your dad, he's acknowledging the missed opportunities that you could have had or should have had together.
Yeah.
There's the feeling as well that there's I'll give it to the way it's given to you. Would you understand with your dad where he's trying to say to me here that he missed the birth of your son? Does that make sense?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
He should have been there for you when your son was born.
No, I don't have any children, but the sentiment I feel is between him and I that he wasn't there for me. But
Yeah, okay. I just feel that, it's the missing of a son. But I have to acknowledge then there has to be siblings with grandchildren as well, where he wasn't around.
no, that's not the case. We've got one
No,
child only, and he was there all the time.
he was there all the time. Okay, well then that's I'm incorrect then with that. I just feel there's the missing. If you can understand that as an interpretation of your relationship with him, that's fine. But it's the missing or the acknowledgement of dad of not being around in key moments in your life.
Really.
And I did take that as a birth of a child. But if that's not correct, that's fine. As well. A dad that could be hardworking, but he very much, as I say, kept his cards close to his chest. So there's the feeling of not knowing, obviously, has been already stated what went on in his life. Would you understand there's a sense within or a need within yourself to kind of research what he get up to or what he actually did in his life and with his life? Does that make sense?
He had for us, it was like two lives. Yeah. So I'm in agreement with that. Yeah, that fits.
Yeah. There's missing aspects of him, but there's a curiosity that comes. If I'm correct with your dad, it's in a way, it's your dad almost saying, look, you can't, there is things to be found out about me. You can find out, you
Oh,
can research.
hang on. This is all coming. I understand what you mean now. Yeah, because we always thought that he had another family or something.
Yeah.
Because
It's the feeling of like living a double life. There's, as I say, there's such a space in time or a gap where he wasn't around. But apparently, but the feeling is with him that there is things you can find out. That's all I can. That's all he impresses upon me. Or whatever. With him.
with
But
all due respect for my father as well, I have a lot of respect for my father, whatever happened or whatever. But we always sensed there was something else. So the birth of a son could be referring to that because there was a very strong feeling that there was somebody else.
yeah, I did get that sense of a birth of a son around him. So look, time
I'm
may reveal that or whatever. I can't really say. But that's all I feel. But yeah, it's for your dad, it's the opportunity to be able to come and just as I say, claim you as your son. And that recognition as well. But I have to say, there's like a stubbornness that comes with him, to the point that around forgiveness or an apology, it's not really forthcoming. That's just not the type of a man that he was. But there is still that sense of connection to you as well. So, please take that he's reaching out, to you, from the spirit world and just wants you to know that he's there. But yeah, thank you for working with me and I wish you well.
Thanks. Just to so I honor my father. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. He knows that. Thank you. Hopefully I'm doing all right for time. I'll just go to the lady at the back. There's a lady in a pink or a reddish dress. Yeah. Hello.
Welcome.
I'm just drawn to yourself next as well. There as well. Okay, just see. Would you understand mom and dad being both in the spirit world?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, because and again, I have to have a couple who are quite close and were married for many years. Does that make sense?
Yes, they
Yeah.
have 1 years here on the earth, and they've just celebrated their 70th in spirit.
Ah, lovely. Because as they came through, it was very much they came in together, and it's like sometimes you work with one stronger than the other, or one is more, but they're very much that togetherness couple. And if you would understand, they impressed themselves upon me as arm in arm. So I know they were quite happy for many years to still hold hands and to link arms together. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. With your mum, I just feel that towards the end was difficult for her. The linking of arms or the holding of hands. I just feel the effects of like arthritis or rheumatism or something that crept into her. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Because I just felt that was, dad had to be very gentle when he was holding her hand or her arm, because of those conditions as well. Mom had to be slightly shorter than dad, to put it polite. Does that make sense? Yeah. I feel there as well. Let's just see why I'm working with them. They were quite what I would say quite an outgoing couple. So a couple that you would never really see one without the other, but at the same time they could be independent. Does that make sense?
Yes, they were independent.
Yeah. They're telling me that you would understand that upon reflection, that they weathered many a storm. They had many ups and downs, many challenges and that in their life together.
That's right.
I know it's not too uncommon, but if I'm correct, the reason they're giving that to me is it's the feeling that they had more than their fair share of it. Put it that way.
No, they were fairly, they weathered most things.
Yeah, together they were very solid. As I said, and they were very good. And correct me if I'm wrong. They could agree to disagree at times, so there was never really these heated arguments, but there was disagreements. Put it that way.
Yes.
I feel okay. A couple that didn't, what I would say, have the opportunity to go very far. They weren't that well traveled, but they were happy enough within that. They were very kind of much stay at home kind of couple. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, and they never had these feelings of, oh, I know they may have talked about it, oh, we'd love to go abroad and love to go here and that, but they were very much, yeah, it's the feeling they didn't move very far in their lifetime. It's like they made their home and it was like a forever home. Does that make sense?
Right.
So I have to be in a home that's with them just as they show it to me. It's like a red brick house with a very small front garden that they were there for many, many years. Does that make sense?
When earlier life, they were in a red brick house with a small front garden that was a carport, but then they were in flats after that.
Okay, because I just feel that this home that they had, the red brick house, was where, yeah, their strongest memories are. That was that to them, yeah, it just meant so much. It's like that family home. That was their first home or their family home. Does that make sense?
The special house, yes.
Special, very special to them, very special memories to them as well. Okay, and they're just breezing past my mind. It was a feeling of like there's one not too far from where we live here. It's like an Aylesbury Road or something Berry Road. Does that make sense?
No, I
No,
can't.
if it's not correct, no, that's fine. Yeah, just remember I said it. It's like an Aylesbury or something Berry, something in the name road there as well to bring in my mind to. And the number 16 as well has to be important. You know, if you can't take 16, just know I've said 16 to you.
No,
Okay, just
we've lived in an 18, but not a 16, and we were in Malmesbury. That was a
Yeah.
Mumsbury. Okay, something very whatever. I
yeah.
got it with an A in it, but if you can understand the reference to it, that's fine. I'm just working with them as well. And the reason I say that is with your father especially, he was quite, I'd say, a detailed man. Would you understand that? When I say detail, like he would, if he was telling a story, he'd go into great detail of it. He wouldn't just say something in a few words. He had to go into great detail and tell you the whole ins and outs and
yes,
everything. Does that make sense?
it does.
Yeah. And I feel that applied to his work as well. So I'm getting a sense of pride with your dad within his work. And I feel he was very, what I would say, hands-on, very manual, labored type of a man, but he was very detailed and very proud and exact of the work that he did.
Yeah, I mean, he was proud to do a good job, but he wasn't a skilled labourer. It was cleaning and docking. He was a docker.
Yeah, but it just, I know, but he like very hands-on, very meticulous. Yeah, the sense of duty with him, like he did a good job for a good day's pay. That's the type of a very solid kind of man, was Dad. Does that make sense?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I feel. Okay, there has to be, I know you just mentioned docks there as well, but I know I need to be near railway because I just get the sense of trains, yeah, and that noise associated. So if it's not with them, then it's with you. But there has to be, you have to be near the sound of a railway.
It was right on top of Waterloo Station. In fact, you could see the trains go past the bottom of the garden.
Okay, because I just feel that that's a strong reference. And would you understand as well, for some reason, I feel this is more with your mum than with your dad, but I could have it the other way around. It's the feeling of the trains had a significance to do with time. So the time of the train passing was the time of the day. It's like, oh, there's the such and such train. It's time for tea, or it's time for dinner, or something like that. Does that make a connection for you?
And things were timed. My mum was very much, dinner is at 5, it will be served at 5, whether you're in or not, you know.
Yeah,
It was
because
very in her life.
yeah, I just get, she just, as I say, that's what she's sending to me there as well, that the symbology of the train, but it's to do with time, and timing was very important to her there as well. As mom and dad again come in as well, there's the feeling that there wasn't too long, correct me if I'm wrong, too long here between their time of passing. So there was only a few years between them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, it just wasn't too much time there as well. But I know, as I say, certainly as they're coming around, it's the there has to be the talk of memories surrounding them in the very recent past. So certainly in the last few days, there had to be talk of mom and dad, and there's something, yeah, that brings them close to you today. Does that make sense?
Well, it was their 70th wedding anniversary only a couple of weeks ago. And
Okay.
so I've been talking about them and memories, you know, for this time.
Yeah,
With the grandkids, we make sure that their memories live on. And
lovely.
there's been 3 different birthdays of their great grandchildren. So that's why we've been sort of having family get-togethers and talking about, you know, my parents.
Yeah, how lovely. And I know, as I say, you know, obviously we're in the church there, but they're impressing upon me that you come quite regularly. Does that make sense? You've been coming quite a while now.
My husband and I have been here 50 years.
Oh wow, that's quite a while. I'll take that as a yes. But yeah, it's the feeling of, yeah, they're here today because they know they can be, and they know, you know, that you're there, and you're there quite often, and that's why they come in. But it's something that they pop in every now and again. I do feel. And yeah, they always try to come in together. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, please take love from mum and dad, and all the lovely times and the memories that you shared together. And thank you for working with me.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you for an excellent demonstration. And here are some forthcoming notices. Our guest medium for the Divine Service at Wimbledon on Sunday, April the 19th is to be confirmed, but we will be announcing this at some point early next week. Please note that Wimbledon Spiritualist Church YouTube Divine Services for each week can now be viewed via a link on our Facebook pages and also website. The Healing Clinic for members of the community and animals is every Tuesday from 7 until 8:15 p.m. and on Thursdays from 10 a.m. until 12 noon. And you will always be greeted by our healer practitioners in a very safe and welcoming atmosphere, and donations apply. Rachel Davis is available for one-to-one crystal healing at Wimbledon and Hackbridge Spiritualist Churches to rebalance, re-energize and relax the mind, body and spirit. These treatments are from £35 per 30-minute treatment, and to book a session, please contact Rachel on her telephone number, which is listed on our website. New events for spring 2026 include our Friendship Club every Wednesday from 11:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. at Wimbledon. Jackie Robinson is hosting on April the 15th. The admission is £5, including refreshments. And our next Friendship Club mediumship is on May the 6th from 1 to 2 p.m. Please check weekly postings on the Wimbledon main page and Facebook group for further information. Development circles. Dawn Collinson's Open Circle runs every second and fourth Thursday of each month, and the next meeting is Thursday, April the 30th, starting at 7 p.m. The admission is £7. So if you are interested in joining, please contact Dawn on her email address, which is dawncollinson80, that's 80, at gmail.com, dawncollinson80@gmail.com. Open platform with myself, Phil Shaw, is now on a new time slot for 2026. The next open platform will be held on Saturday, April the 25th from 2 to 3:45 and will then be bi-monthly in June, August, October and December. Some dates may be subject to change, but where possible, open platform will be held on the second Saturday of alternate months, with the exception of June, August, and September. Please check pre-event postings. Open platform is for intermediate, advanced, and working mediums to polish your platform presentation skills, evidential mediumship, inspirational speaking, and psychic art in a safe and supportive environment. Full details about Open Platform will be available to view on our website and Facebook pages in due course. And if you have any inquiries about Open Platform, please contact me on my email address, philesoteric@gmail.com, or Facebook page at Phil Shaw Spiritualist Medium. Demonstrations of mediumship. Tonight at Wimbledon, we have a very special demonstration starting at 7 o'clock of mediumship and psychic art with Ashley Robinson, Sarah Warman, and Helen Rogerson. See the promo description on our website and Facebook pages. Tickets are £6.50 if booked in advance, and there is still time to do an advance booking, or £10 on the door. At Hackbridge Spiritualist Church on Friday, April the 24th at 7:30, we have a demonstration of mediumship with Jeff Hewitt, and the admission is £5. And finally, at Wimbledon on Sunday, April the 26th at 7 p.m, we have a demonstration of mediumship with Ivan Lee and Ashley Robinson. This is also bookable in advance at £6.50 or £10 on the door. Advance booking at the reduced price of £6.50 for Wimbledon Spiritualist Church events is available via a link on our Facebook pages and website. Tickets can be purchased via Eventbrite or pay by bank transfer, PayPal or cash at Wimbledon Church. Tickets are also available on the evening of each demonstration at £10. Please keep up to date with activities and special events, courses, workshops and demonstrations on the Wimbledon Spiritualist Church website and Facebook and Instagram pages, where you will find links to pre-event booking facilities. And the April diary of events, plus an extended version, is available to view on our website and again, Facebook pages. That concludes the events. And my final reading today is a poem by Emily Dickinson called Hope is the Thing with Feathers. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. And I will now invite Miriam and John to give the closing prayer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please join me in our closing prayer. Father God, Great Spirit, we are grateful to you for bringing this community of people together for this short moment in time. We join together as brothers and sisters, united as one within the community of your Spirit. We give thanks for all of the messages of the loved ones that came forward this morning and connected us once again to that love that is so precious and so dear to us. We know, Father God, that those of us that are here are always surrounded by the love of our loved ones in the Spirit, and indeed the love that you hold for us as one of all of your children. May we take the healing, the love and the support that was built up during this service and bring it forward with us in the hours, the days and the weeks ahead, as we know that your hand for us is always within our reach. This we ask in your name, which is love. Amen.
Thank you very much, John and Miriam, for an excellent service today. And we look forward to welcoming you back to Wimbledon, hopefully in person in 2027. So please, everyone, show your appreciation for John and Miriam today. And please have a very safe journey home. Have a lovely, peaceful week, and we will see you very, very soon. God bless. Yeah.